need lotion. Damn. Hold on.
Excuse me, I'm talking to you. Hey.
Hey boos, welcome to Sips and Tips, the show where we make a little something to sip on before we get into the tips and advice of it all. Happy Sunday. I'm filming this in real time. It is Sunday, January 19th. And you know, the plan for the video has changed just a bit because I was planning on coming on here talking about the TikTok ban, its effects, what do we do now as creators, as consumers? I was gonna get into that. And then I find out TikTok is back. I feel like that was a little dramatic. I feel like it was a little drastic because I'm like, so we did all this crashing out, all this grieving. We've been grieving for weeks, by the way. Like, it wasn't just yesterday when we were just like really crashing out and grieving. Like, we've been grieving this for weeks now, when we found out that it was really gonna be a real thing. And then all of a sudden, it's back. One thing this country loves to do is play games. And quite frankly, I'm tired of the abuse. But anyway, before we even get into the conversation, because we're also gonna talk about TikTok and the ban and next steps and pivoting and all of that, let's get into today's sip. It's very simple. I haven't even had my morning coffee yet, y'all. So we're just gonna make my morning coffee. So I did get a new espresso and cappuccino machine by DeLonghi. And so I made my regular coffee. I put like a teaspoon of sugar in the bottom of the glass and then I let it brew. So we have our coffee here. I frothed my creamer. Today I just use International Delight Caramel Macchiato flavor. I froth it in my little Nespresso frother. We're just gonna pour this in and enjoy. Now I do like kind of a lot of creamer, so this might be a little light skinned for some of my coffee drinkers out there, but I like a lot of creamer. Perfection. Since the sip was very simple and easy, let's get right into the tips and the conversation for today. Okay, so this TikTok ban, like I mentioned in the beginning, this has been a grieving process, right? Because we found out that the ban was like really gonna take effect like some weeks ago. And so I feel like everybody was collectively preparing to jump ship. We're like, okay, where are we pivoting to? Are we just gonna all go over to Instagram? Are we gonna go over to YouTube? Red Note came on the scene. Fanbase came on the scene. We're like, do we, reignite Tumblr? Like, what do we do? I think the first thing I wanna address about the TikTok ban is pivoting. As a collective, as both content creators and viewers and consumers, especially as millennials, I think we are very good at pivoting and adapting because, like I said, as millennials, we've seen the rise and fall of so many different platforms. Everything from MySpace, High Five, Ustream. We've seen the inception of Instagram, Facebook, AIM, AOL Instant Messenger, Vine, like the list goes on and on and on. We've seen the rise and fall of so many of these platforms. And so anytime one goes away, that doesn't mean that we just, pack it up and stop creating or stop consuming content altogether. We end up going to the next thing. I think the difference with TikTok though is that the community and the structure, the algorithm, everything over there is just so different from any other platform that we have access to so far. And I think that's why everybody was so heartbroken. I would say for me, I was so devastated because TikTok was the first and only platform that I was actually ever consistent with. I was posting on there every day, if not every other day. I was posting on there consistently. It was the biggest platform I've ever had, which my numbers on there aren't anything crazy, but for me, I had a decent sized following, bigger than anything I've ever had on any other platform. Just the community that I was able to build. Like, I met so many amazing women, so many people who were just supportive, and we had a mutual reciprocated support. Like, I really was like, wow, I found my audience, I found my community. Like, the support was just really amazing, and it's something that I've never experienced on another platform. Not saying that I can't or that I won't, but it's just different. And if you use TikTok, whether you create on there or not, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know, even down to the comment section, it's like people are just more prone to like root for you. They're more prone to engage. They're more prone to comment. And it's just a different vibe over there. When we were first in talks about, you know, TikTok being banned, obviously everybody's first knee-jerk reaction was, okay, then I guess we're just going over to Instagram. But everybody was like, no, like that's actually not the move, because Instagram is so, like, the vibes are so bad over there. Like, I actually really wanted to delete my Instagram before the new year. I was like, I'm not going into 2025 with IG, like, cancel it, I'm done. But I kept it because it's like your portfolio, right? It's like your resume. You kind of have to have it, especially for me. Like, I'm in entertainment, I'm doing content creation. Like, I can't really just delete Instagram, unfortunately. Like, until the next big thing comes around and like bulldozes that, I kind of have to keep it. So I'm like, fine, I'll keep it, but I'm not gonna be like super active on there, right? I tried. Let me tell you this. I tried. So I have my underrated R&B series that I have on here. There's a playlist on here as well. And I started that on TikTok, and it just was for fun. And I just kept coming up with artists and concepts and things that I wanted to talk about. So I was like, okay, well, if TikTok really is getting the boot, let me put it on YouTube as well. And then I was like, well, let me also try to put it on Instagram, because you never know. You know, let's see what the reception is like. Baby, crickets, okay? Flop, fail. And I was like, see, this is why I don't like Instagram, because the engagement, the push of your content, it just isn't there. It just isn't there. And, you know, I know that Instagram works for some people. It works for certain types of content. It works for certain types of creators. And I just have come to realize I'm not really what Instagram is pushing, or what Instagram viewers are like really looking for. And that's okay, because Instagram's not my cup of tea, and I don't think I'm its cup of tea, right? So fine. So yeah, I posted like 3 of my underrated R&B episodes on there, flop central, and I was like, I'm cool. We're just gonna stick to TikTok and then pivot on over to YouTube Shorts. So that's been kind of like my thing with Instagram. I'm just like, you know, with Meta, I'm cool on it, you know, like I don't, and I'm not even going to get into the whole politics and all that of it, but it's like with Meta, you already know what it is. So that's how I feel about that. So then we talk about, you know, like Red Note fan base. Now, Red Note, I've heard good things, but I also feel like towards the end, when the ban was like really getting serious and it was approaching, people were pushing Red Note like in desperation, like, okay, we have to go over here because it's the closest thing to TikTok. And I was like, I feel that, but I don't know. I just kind of, I'm someone who, I'm never really the first one to try a platform or try the apps. I need to like see it for a little bit. I need to hear like from word of mouth how like friends and family like it first. I don't really like being the guinea pig for stuff like that, I'll admit. So I feel like with Red Note, I'm not opposed to it. I think it's great. I'm glad that there's like, you know, an alternative for TikTok out there. But I just personally haven't signed up yet. I just feel like I want to hear a little bit more information about it first. Then we get into fan base. Now, when I first heard about fan base, I was really excited because I was like, oh, it's Black owned, like amazing. The problem is though, it seems like there's a lot of bugs and kinks that still need to get worked out. I just haven't heard amazing things about it. So, you know, I don't know what the future of fan base is going to be. I do love the fact that it's Black owned. You know, I love supporting Black owned businesses and Black owned entrepreneurs. But if it's not a functioning or useful app for both creators and viewers, I don't know. I'm gonna hold off on that. That leaves us with, okay, what do we do now? As of today, Sunday, January 19th, TikTok is back, allegedly. But I think this also teaches us a really good lesson in pivoting and adaptability, circling back to what I said earlier. For one, this taught us a really good lesson, right? A couple of things. First, we always have to be willing and able to pivot, because nothing is ever certain, especially in this country and in this day and age, the way that they like to play games. You have to always have a plan B, C, D, E, all the way to Z, honestly, because technology is very fickle. This country is very fickle. Our laws are very fickle, as we see. So I think it taught us that we should always have multiple plans and always have multiple platforms. If you are a creator, just get used to cross-promoting yourself on different things. I think for me, for a long time, I didn't like doing that. It was like, I want to be on this one platform and just leave it at that. But you really can't. And especially as a creator, you know, you obviously want to be shown and be seen by as many people as possible. And there are people who don't use certain apps or use certain platforms. So it is best to just be flexible in that way and get on different types of platforms. Now, something that I saw the other day that was interesting was there was a TikTok, and there was a creator who was making like kind of a skit where she was like, okay, if you're this type of creator, go on this platform. And it was really funny. But one of the comments was like, well, I guess for the girls who don't have a niche, we don't have anywhere to go. And I felt her on that, but I commented back and I was like, well, no, it just means we can go wherever we want. So I want to talk to my girls who don't really have a niche like me, because I'm a creator who I've never wanted to be boxed in. I want to do whatever I want to do. I want to talk about whatever I want to talk about. I want to showcase whatever I want to showcase. If you've been following this channel, you know I've done vlogs. I've done sit down chats like this. I'm doing sips and tips. I'm now doing underrated R&B. Like, I'm just multifaceted and have so much in here that I want to share. I can't just niche myself down just because I want the algorithm to, you know, mess with my content more, or because I want, you know, a certain follow. Like, I can't do that. It's just not authentic to me. I have to be able to talk about and create whatever I want to talk about and create in the moment. If you feel the same way, you feel like you don't really have a specific niche, or you don't fit into a specific category or community, welcome to the club, hun. I like not having a niche. I like the fact that I can do whatever I want. I can kind of, you know, pop in over here, pop in over there. And just like I said, that means that we can pick whatever platform we want. We get to decide. We get to choose, like, okay, if I want to hone in on Instagram, I can. If I want to hone in here on YouTube, I can. If I want to go on some completely different platform, I can. So yeah, if you don't have a niche, don't let that discourage you. Keep creating the content that you want to create and that's authentic to you. And I think once you decide what type of content you want to create, figure out what apps or what platforms work best for you. So that would be my advice for that. I was banging on the door like the police. Anyway, the other thing and the other piece of advice that I want to touch on is stop second guessing, stop waiting. Whatever content you want to create, create it now. Because when I tell you, in my notes app, I have a content note and I have just bullet points of all these ideas, these different TikTok sounds I wanted to use, these different trends, all these different things, right? Some of them have been in that list for like years, like 2 years. And I just haven't gotten around to doing it. But this showed me, okay, whatever trend, whatever sound, whatever I wanted to film, let's do it. Put it out there. Those drafts that you have, post it, please. Because you just never know. TikTok is back for right now, but who's to say that that won't change tomorrow or next month or next year? Very fickle, very finicky. We don't know the future of TikTok or any other app, to be honest with you. So anything that you want to create, just please put it out there. Don't feel like it has to be perfect. Don't feel like, well, I don't have the right equipment. I don't have the right this. I don't look a certain way. Just post it, put it out there. Because when I tell you, I had to get out of my own head because I used to be the same way. Perfectionist Virgo, y'all already know. You have to create, you have to get it out. You have to get it out. Y'all know I film with my phone. I have my little ring light. I film with my phone. And we make it do what it do. Like, just do it. Film it, create it, post it. You never know who's gonna see it. You never know who's gonna love it and enjoy it. Let me turn my heater off. Hold on one second. Okay, we're back. The heater is just like really loud, so sorry about that. Just create. Please create. Please create. Please create. I also just want to end this off by saying TikTok, like I mentioned in the beginning, it was just such a great place of growth for me. It really boosted my confidence. It really made me see there are people who are interested in my content. There are people who care. There are people who are supportive. Because I think the thing with Instagram too is that we get a little discouraged, and I'll speak for myself. I definitely get a little discouraged because if I post something on there that, you know, I was really proud of, or like something creative that I wanted to share, and it doesn't get engagement or reception, I get discouraged. But it's like, girl, the girl that you had biology with in freshman year, or the guy that, you know, you knew in elementary school, they're probably not your target audience, and that's okay. Like, that's okay. With TikTok, I just love the fact that it pushes you to like-minded people and people that probably are your audience. So I'm just grateful for that. I'm happy TikTok is back, I guess. It still feels a little fishy. I'm still looking at it a little sideways. I don't really know. I don't know. I'm a little skeptical. Especially, you know, the Orange Man is coming into office tomorrow. That's a whole nother like grieving process that we've been under as well. But for now, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm happy that we have it, and we're just gonna play it by ear. But the big thing that I want you to take away from this video is, if you're a creator, please keep creating no matter what. It doesn't matter what platforms come and go. Create, put it out there. Your audience is out there. Your community is out there. Your support is out there. And I'm excited to see where things take us in 2025. It's been a wild ride already, and it's only January. If you don't follow me on TikTok, please do. It's Jayla Elle. You can also follow me on Instagram. Please like this video if you like this video, subscribe, and also look out for my underrated R&B series on here. If you're interested in R&B, or if you just are a music lover in general, definitely check that out. I will be posting part 21 this week. So I think that about wraps it up. Until next time, cheers.